One morning, the classroom was strangely quiet. The students sat waiting, their whispers barely audible. The door creaked open, and the professor walked in. But today, he wasn't alone. He was carrying a large, empty glass jar. The usual friendly smile was gone, replaced by a spark in his eyes, as if he was about to reveal the secret of the universe. The students sat up straighter, their curiosity piqued. Without uttering a single word, he placed the jar on the table in front of him. Then, he bent down and lifted a heavy bag filled with large, fist-sized rocks. One by one, slowly and deliberately, he began placing them into the jar. 1, 2, 3, until it was impossible to fit another one in. He looked up at the class, his gaze sweeping across their faces, and finally spoke. His voice was calm, but carried weight. "Is the jar full?" The students glanced at the jar, then at each other. There was clearly no space left for another big rock. They nodded confidently, some even calling out, "Yes, sir, it's full." The professor offered no response. Instead, he reached under the table and pulled out a second bag. This one filled with small, smooth pebbles. A ripple of understanding went through the classroom. They knew this was part of the lesson. He started pouring the pebbles into the jar. They tumbled in, slipping into all the gaps between the large rocks, filling the spaces that had seemed non-existent just moments before. He gave the jar a gentle shake, helping the pebbles settle even deeper. Then, he asked again, his voice even, "Is it full now?" This time, the students were more cautious. Some hesitated. "Maybe?" "Yes?" A few ventured, their voices uncertain. The confidence from before had vanished. Again, the professor didn't react. He simply reached for a third bag. This one was filled with fine, golden sand. He poured it into the jar, and the tiny grains flowed like liquid, worming their way into every minuscule empty space that remained. The sand filled the jar, almost to the very brim. The professor raised his eyebrows, a silent question. "And now?" A chorus of voices answered, a mix of amusement and anticipation. "Probably," they all said together. The professor finally let a smile grace his lips. He then reached for one last item sitting on the tabbouleh mug of steaming water. Very slowly, he poured the water into the jar. It seeped through the sand, disappearing into the mix, filling whatever microscopic space was left. Now, the jar was truly, absolutely, undeniably full. The professor took a deep breath, and the room fell completely silent. The real lesson was about to begin. "This jar," he said, his voice resonating through the still air, "represents your life." He pointed to the big rocks, visible through the glass. "These are the most important things: your family, your health, your close relationships, your passions, your dreams. These are the things that, if you were to lose everything else, would still leave your life feeling meaningful and complete." He then gestured towards the pebbles nestled among the rocks. "These are the other things that matter, but they can never replace the rocks. This is your job, your house, your car, your education. They are good, important things, but they are not the foundation of your life. They are secondary." Next, he scooped up a handful of the sand that had filled the smallest gaps. "And this," he said, letting the grains slip through his fingers, "this is all the small stuff. The trivial things. Mindless social media scrolling. Pointless arguments. Wasting time on things that add no real value to your life. If you fill your life with this sand first, there'll be no room left for the rocks. There'll be no space for what truly matters." He looked around the room slowly, letting the weight of his words sink in. Think about it. How many people spend their entire lives chasing the sand? They filled their days with busy work, with distractions, with fleeting pleasures, and then, at the end of it all, they wonder why they feel so empty, so unfulfilled. The classroom was so quiet, you could hear a pin drop. The students were no longer just students. They were individuals contemplating their own jars, their own lives. The professor continued softly, his voice full of warmth and wisdom. "Your big rocks, your loved ones, your physical and mental health. Your dreams, these are what give your life purpose and structure. If you neglect them, if you don't prioritize them, and make space for them first. One day you'll look back and realize you forgot to truly live. You'll have a jar full of sand and pebbles, but your foundation will be missing. A young woman in the front row cautiously raised her hand. "Professor, what about the water? What does that represent?" The professor's face broke into a wide, genuine smile. "An excellent question," he said. "The water is a reminder that no matter how full and busy your life may seem, there is always room for the little joys. A cup of coffee with a friend, a quiet walk in nature, a moment of shared laughter, a song that touches your soul. These small joys don't replace the rocks, pebbles, or sand, but they make the entire journey beautiful. They enrich the experience." He paused, letting everyone absorb the final piece of the puzzle. Life isn't about filling every single minute of your day with activity. It's about filling your heart with meaning. If you want a meaningful, fulfilling life, you must put your big rocks in first. Take care of them, nurture them, and then let everything else find its proper place around them. He gently placed a lid on the jar and held it up for all to see. "In the end," he concluded, his voice a gentle whisper that filled the room, "you won't be remembered for how busy you were. You won't be celebrated for the sand you collected. You will be remembered for how deeply you lived, for the rocks you cherished, and for the love you shared." Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more videos that make you think and feel. Take care of your rocks.